This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
Swiss company ABB is the first three-time recidivist under the FCPA, yet it obtained a clear, superior resolution and avoided a monitor. How did it do so? Well, it started with its attempts to self-disclose. Although it did not self-disclose, it had actually scheduled a meeting with the Department of Justice to self-disclose. While this could have been a disaster in terms of creating trust with the Department of Justice, it was not interpreted that manner. The DOJ was impressed enough with ABB's intent, or at least desire to self-disclose, that it spent a lot of time talking about it in the resolution documents. Every compliance counsel needs to understand about extraordinary cooperation, which is what ABB engaged in. The best example comes from the SEC order, which stated ABB's cooperation included the real-time sharing of facts learned during its own internal investigation. Next were the actions by the ABB itself in their remediation. The plea agreement reported that ABB engaged in extensive remedial measures, including the hiring of experienced compliance counsel, following a root cause analysis, investing significant additional resources in compliance training and monitoring throughout the organization, implementing targeted training programs as well as on-site supplementary case study sessions, conducting continuous monitoring and testing to assess engagement with new training measures, restructuring by reporting internal project teams to ensure compliance, properly disciplining all of those who were involved in the illegal action. So kudos to SAP for those actions. Additionally, the company avoided a monitor, and it did so because it engaged in fully creating a effective compliance program and then tested on that compliance program during the pendency of their investigation. So anytime you want to look at a great example of things you can do during the pendency of your investigation to avoid a monitor, the ABB FCPA enforcement action really lays out what a company can do. And when you look at the overall conduct and recidivism of ABB, you see their extraordinary result. This month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.